advice.com. Welcome to a live episode. If you're watching this not live, hello to you as well. We are talking about long distance relationships, and I'm excited to get into this because this is a question I get all the time. Now, I do have to check because last time I went live, there was some weird things going on with the mic. So I do have to take a minute here and ask the people who are here live, how do I sound? I'm sure you can see me and all looks good, but how is it sounding? Let me know, and then I can fix, because last time I sounded like a robot, and I think it's because I was using a browser that wasn't doing well with this streaming service. So this is the backup, but I really hope I don't have to use it. So we'll see. So if you can just help me out here, people who are here, let me know how I sound and how it's doing, and then we can get into everything. So then you don't have to hear me sound like a robot. But yes, we are talking about long distance relationships. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do some video calls. Okay. Okay. People are saying it sounds good. So that's good. So yes, we're going to do some video calls. And the video calls, if you want to get in the queue or in the line, all you got to do is go to the link in the description. It should be there. And you click on that, and then you can get in the queue, and then we can answer your questions here on the chat. Okay, looks like the mic sounds good. Very good. No robot this time. I think it was because we were doing it in the wrong browser. Sometimes you think you can trust Firefox, but sometimes you have to trust Chrome. All right. Cool, cool. What's up, everyone? How's everyone doing? Say hello. Say hello. I want to talk to you. I want to see how you're doing. I'm doing well. It's been a crazy few months, but we're getting through it. We're doing well. What's up, Jonathan? Yes, I am live, Nova. That is correct. Charles, Queely, Danny. Good to see everyone, at least see their chat. So yes, talking about long distance relationships. We're going to get to that in just a second. Remember, if you want to do the video chat, just click and click on the link and then wait in the queue, and then we'll be good. It's called StreamYard. So there should be a link in there. Let me just double check and see if it is. Yes, it's there. So go ahead and get in there. What's up, Raphael, Ayub, Javier? Glad everyone's doing well. Very good. When was the last time I got a haircut? Yeah, you can tell, right? It's been a minute. You know what's interesting is I have a friend who's another coach, and he shaved his head off because he probably knew that he couldn't get it done the way he wanted to. So he just shaved it off. And then he ended up, just doing that. I don't know if I'm going to do that. Maybe we got to just deal with what we have. Cool. All right. So it looks like I sound good. No one's saying it sounds robotic. I know I did test this out last week with someone the next day. So everything looks good. Okay, let's get into it. So, long distance relationships. Oh boy, oh boy. Okay, so I'm going to get into it. Long distance relationships, how do you make it work? Okay, how do you make it work? How you make it work is, first of all, you need to have, first of all, do long distance relationships work? From what I've known, from what I've seen, mostly, no, they don't. Most fail. The reason why they don't, and the way you make it work, is by making sure you have an end date. So a lot of people who are in long distance relationships, they don't have an end date of when the distance is going to be. You can't keep up a long distance relationship forever because you're not able to really connect with someone. We all desire to be connecting with each other in person and being intimate and being just next to the person, right? Like that is part of what a relationship is. And so if you're long distance and you're only doing it very seldomly, it will eventually die unless you have a point where you know you guys are going to be in person with each other. By the way, I can see someone here is coming in queue for the video chat. So if you guys want to get in queue for the video chat, click on the link that's in the description down below. Okay. The thing is this, with long distance relationships, I understand that if you're dating someone for a very long time and then it has to go long distance because someone has to go to school or someone has to get a new job and then you can't move there to the new city with them right away. But if you're starting something long distance, this is why. Like, why torture yourself? A lot of guys' argument is, well, Tripp, I really like her. We're a really good match. We're a really good fit. So you're basically saying to me that that does not exist in your city. And I have to question you on that because that's probably not true. And you don't know that's not true. But I know for a fact that it is because the odds say it. So if you're really interested in being long distance with someone just because you like them, because you think they're special, good luck. It's not going to happen. It's going to eventually die. And you're going to be really hating it because you only see the person so often, if at all. So starting long distance is a disaster. And I highly recommend against it. It's a really bad idea. Now, back to what I was saying with what happens if you end up getting into something and then eventually it has to become long distance because of some circumstance. Okay, actually, I remember I had a friend who dated a guy and they were together, but then he had to go away because he ended up getting his business degree, got his MBA at another college that was in the same state but pretty far away, and they made it work because they had an end date. Right? It was like, okay, we have to deal with this, but we don't want to leave this because we've had this for a while. So it's going to be fine. We'll just get through it. It's going to be crappy, but we'll get through it. But there's an end date. What's the end date, right? So it was 2 years, kind of far away, but that's a very certain end date, right? It's not like I think it's going to be 2 years or we hope for 2 years. It's 2 years. The person's going to be in school for 2 years. So when I say end date, it's got to be very firm or else it's just going to be this continuous long distance relationship. Someone said you tested the cue to ask questions later, but the mic was echoing on my end. Not sure why that happened, but come back in and it should work out. The link is in the description if you want to join me in a video chat, which we'll be doing very soon here. Someone said I was married for 5 years with 2 kids and deployed overseas for 7 months. And she still keep good with little distance. Yeah, see, if you're deployed, that's a different story too. It's like, you're going to come back. Like there's a time when you come back, right? Thank you, Manuel. That was very nice of you for the $4.99. And I mean that sincerely. So I appreciate that. Very nice of you to do that. Long distance relationships are playing a dangerous game because there isn't frequent physical connection. Exactly. Yeah, right on the head right there. Hit the nail on the head, Laporta. That's right. There's little physical so it's like, why would you want that? I get people say like, no, you don't understand. She's special. There's this girl. Da da da. But why do you want to put yourself through that? To what? To see her every once in a while? For it to maybe work out, right? For it to maybe work out. That's the problem here. Is that there's just no guarantee. And I don't have the stats. I can probably pull something up on Google. But from what I've known people who've been in long distance relationships. None of them have worked out except for that one that I said, where there was a clear end date. But and I was in one too when I was in college. I was in a long distance relationship. I dated a girl in college, and then I was out of college. She was a couple years younger, so she was still in college. And of course it didn't work out. I was in LA, she was in Chicago. We saw each other every once in a while. It wasn't going to happen. It wasn't going to last because we didn't have an end date. There's no clear plan. So it has to be a very clear, specific plan, a very clear, specific plan for it to work. How do you maintain trust through temporary distance? That's a great question, Nova. How do you maintain trust? Well, the thing is this. A person can cheat on you anyways. Yes, I guess it's technically easier if they're in another city. Maybe they can get away with it more. But if someone wants to cheat in the same city as you, they'll cheat. Hands down, they will cheat. It will happen. So the same amount. So however you're building trust now, it's the same way if they're away. So if you trust them now, you should trust them if they're going away. People don't really cheat just to cheat. They cheat because they're not happy in the relationship. No one is usually happy in a relationship and then cheats. I'm sure it's happened. Yes, I'm sure. But it's very rare. It's very rare. Yeah, Jonathan, that's right. Clear plan. Need a plan, or else it's not going to work. All right. So someone just left the video chat, but I'm ready to take video calls. So if you want to come on here and you want to do some video chatting with me, and I will answer your questions, let's do it. So if you have any questions, let me answer them. The link is in the description down below where you and I can talk and I can answer your questions, and I'm happy to do so. And I'm very excited to do so. We had a lot of people last time who did it. So if you're brave and you can do this, which I know you can, come on and let's help you out. Let's answer your questions and let's figure it out. Someone said, should the man always be the older one in the relationship? No, doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't matter. What's the best age gap for a man? 10 years at most. I've found. What do you mean? Like when you're older than a woman? I mean, the thing is I don't really think it's a good idea to ever be dating someone significantly older or significantly younger. Why? Because it's just harder to connect. It's harder to connect with someone who is just not in your same generation. It makes it more difficult. It's not even forget the generation. That's not even a big deal as much as you're in a different place in life. It's just harder to connect with someone who's 22 and you're 35, or you're 30 and they're 40 or 45. They're just in a different place in life. And I figure it's hard to connect. And I've been in a relationship where she was significantly younger than me. And I found that it was just hard to get each other at times, or really care. Like, I just didn't care. It's like, oh yeah, you're going through that thing that I went through when I was younger. I get it. It's like you empathize, but you just don't end up caring that much. Just being honest. Okay, so let's get someone up here and. All right, what's up? Let's see here.
Hi, am I echo?
Ben.
Hi, am I echoing?
No, not to me.
Oh, just on my end.
Just on your end. Can you hear me without the headphones? Hello.
Hello.
What's up, Ben? How you doing, man?
I'm doing okay.
The echo is annoying you, I can tell.
Yeah, it's on my end only.
Yeah. Well, maybe you can just take off. Maybe when you're talking.
Just on my end.
Yeah.
Am I still echoing?
Can you hear me without the?
No, I can hear you. What you need to do is you need to pause.
Okay, where's the pause button?
Pause the video that's on YouTube.
Hello.
Pause the video.
Hello.
Okay.
What's up, Ben? How you doing, man?
Okay.
I'm doing okay.
There's a setting screen.
Annoying you, I can
There's
tell.
lots of echoing happening.
Setting screen.
Well, maybe you can just take off.
I might have to kick you off, man. We got to go to someone else. We can't figure this out fast.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Still echoing?
I'm just gonna get you off for here from now. What's up, Faru? You on?
Hello.
Can't hear you, buddy. There you are. What's up, man?
How's it going?
It's going good, buddy. How are you?
It's all good.
What's your age and where are you calling from?
I'm calling from New Jersey. My age is 26.
Cool. That's awesome.
I'm not originally from here, so I have an issue have been facing me since I immigrated over here.
Yeah.
I have since the beginning I immigrated over here. I started getting compliments by people working with me, and customers and everybody, and I have been talking to women and everything, but I have an issue when I come to texting or facing. I don't know what to say to keep them interested or to keep things going. And once we talk,
Where are you meeting women at?
clubs, work, that's all for the time being.
And
And
so you're getting their numbers, and then what happens after that? We're diagnosing.
yeah, I just say hey or what's up or what's popping, and try to open up a conversation. And if it happens, we talk for a day or two, and then they vanish
Yeah.
or ghost me when I ask for a date or something.
Cool.
And I haven't
So
been able to get a girlfriend so far. So I'm like,
cool. So here's the idea here. Okay, is texting. Don't use it to get to know them. Don't use it to have conversations. Texting is used to meet up with women. So I want you to use text messaging to do that. Okay. So it's hard to know exactly where you're going wrong, but I can just take a wild guess is you're probably having very boring, mundane conversations on text messages that are going nowhere. So instead, and I know this isn't happening for a lot of people right now, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you are using text message to only get them to meet up. Okay?
well, when I ask for a meetup or a date, they just vanish or they say yes, then they doesn't show up. So
So
I'm
they
confused.
say yes, and then what happens? And then they don't show up. So yeah, what's happening is they're just not interested. You haven't got them interested. They aren't fascinated or interested by you.
How can I make them interested?
Well, there's a lot there. I mean, you got to be first of all, you got to be using the principles of attraction, which I don't know if you're using. But more importantly, I think because that's such a longer conversation to have, volume. Think volume. If you're getting a number every once in a while, odds are it's going to go nowhere because people flake, doesn't work out, doesn't go anywhere. So what you need to do is you need to have more volume. You need to be talking to more women. So this is the fastest way to fix this. Talk to more women and be talking to more women online and get as many leads into your funnel as possible. Does that make sense?
Yes, that totally makes sense. I was just most of the time I was using like pickup lines or something like, "Hey, I'm starting with texting, and I will leave the first move for you to kick when it comes to kissing." It's kind of a cheeky, so I'm trying to just
Is that what
open
you're
up.
texting?
Yeah, the first message. I know
Don't yeah,
that's
don't none of that stuff. None of that stuff. There's so much room for error. There's so much room for error, okay, when you're doing texting. Conversations just shouldn't be had over text message because people are reading text messages in their own voice, not in your voice, and they don't know the way that you're saying it. So you just can't gamble with that. So that's what I would do from now on, okay? Is go right to asking them out and increase your volume of more women that you're talking to. Okay?
okay. Thank you.
Thanks, man. Thanks for joining.
Thank you too.
Bye-bye. All right. Cool. Let's keep going. Manny, I see there's a guy named Manny here. Your video is not on. So if your video is not on, we're not going to put you on. All right. What's up, man?
Hey Tripp, what's up, man?
What's up, dude? How you doing? What's your name, age, and where you calling from?
My name is CJ. I'm 22. I'm calling from Canada.
Canada, eh?
Yes, sir.
Nice. Very cool. What's your question?
And I just got a few questions, man. So I moved to Canada actually a few years ago.
Do
So
me a
I'm
favor with
currently,
are you on your phone?
yeah.
Like pick it up. There's it's kind of like talk now.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, so much better. It was like muted because you're probably covering your mic. So continue.
Oh, really? Oh, no. I was just asking that, so dating cultures, like in Canada, is pretty much new to me. So I was just talking to this girl, and we just talking through Instagram and stuff like that, and then we just talking good. We matched on Tinder when we exchanged and stuff, and then I was just talking to her, and all of a sudden, she stopped texting, and I was like, whoa. Like I didn't go and be like, oh, why you stopped texting or whatever. And I mean, I just curious, like, like what can a person do in that situation?
When what? When a person stops texting you?
Yeah, just
Well,
move on.
well, does she have a good reason? Is she invested in you? Have you guys met
I
up?
mean,
Have you guys kissed? Have you had sex? Do you guys have a connection, or is it just someone you met offline
no.
or
I just met
online?
her on Tinder, but I have met her. She's from my town. Like I have met her once, just like once. We just talked. She was working, and we just talked, and that's the first time I got
Yeah,
introduced to her to my friend.
yeah,
But like we just talked, and yeah, she seems kind of like interested in me talking, like replying like after 5 minutes or whatever. But then afterwards, like it stopped. I
yeah.
never went
She got
back.
bored. She got bored. She went to another guy probably.
Yeah,
She went
that's
to another guy because she's bored because it's probably a boring conversation. You got to. The thing is with texting, texting is really hard if you're just using text as your only form of communication. It's really hard. It's like something that I couldn't even teach because I'm not even that great at it. At holding someone's attention just from text message, right? So in this time right now, because we're in a funny time, you know, get on the phone with them at the least. Or just wait until you can start meeting women in person because that's where you can make most of that's where most of the damage is done. And when I say damage, in a good way, right? Like
yeah.
you can get more done. It's easier to build attraction when you're communicating with them in person. So my guess is she probably got bored. How do you fix that? It's not about being a better texter or like, oh, what can I say that makes her interested? And I know that's a very popular question because right now that's what we're doing these days is we're communicating over text. A lot of us are. So that's the most popular thing. So everyone's asking questions about that. But understand that texting is not the skill that you want to get good at. Okay. You want to
That's
get good at increasing volume of women that you're talking to so that when one falls away, you have someone else. And then talking to the women that have more of a high level of interest in you. And then getting to the point where eventually where you're meeting up with that person. Okay.
for sure.
So
Um,
she flaked. She's not answering anymore. Peace. Plenty more out there.
yeah.
Peace out. Peace
No,
out.
I get that.
We're not here to convince women.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
It's the opposite.
It's
It's
the opposite.
your filtering for is this woman going to be good for you? Not the other way around. Guys have this all wrong. It's not about what can I do to get her to like me? No, it's about the mindset is become the most attractive version of yourself possible to increase the chances of more women being interested in you, just like a woman might do the same thing. And
No,
then increase the volume and then go for the women who have more of a high level of interest and are not ones that you're just texting all day. Okay?
that's true. For
Does that
sure.
help?
Yeah, for sure. I've been watching your podcast, listening to your podcast, for a while now as well. It's
Cool.
really good, man. Like,
Cool. Good.
to, yeah,
Good. I'm
that's
glad you like it. He's talking about the How to Talk to Girls podcast, by the way, guys. You can check
yeah,
that
that's good
out.
podcast. It's just
Anywhere
really good.
podcasts
Like,
available.
whenever I go for a workout or for runs and stuff like that, I listen to that. It's pretty interesting, like to
This is the
learn.
mic. I record them literally right here in this spot right here is where I record them.
Really?
I come in the studio, I open up my computer, I open up the editing software, and then I sit down and I talk.
That's awesome,
So
man. That's good, man.
so good, man.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you like it. Thanks for calling. Great question. Hope that helped. And
So
hopefully
just
we'll
move on.
yeah, move
That's
on.
yeah, for sure, man. Thanks,
Cool, man.
bro. Appreciate it.
Thanks, man. Take care.
Take care, bro. Peace.
All right. Very cool. Yeah, so if you guys want to come on and do video chatting, you can get your questions answered. All you got to do is go to the link in the description. It's a StreamYard link. So come join me.
Hey,
Hey, Manny. What's up, man?
hey, so I have an old question. It's
Sure.
about experience that happened about 4 years ago.
First, what's your where are you located and how old are you?
I am in Washington and I am 30 years old.
Cool. Awesome. What's your question?
So about 4 years ago, I dated a single mother. She had a young kid. Um, she explained to me a lot about an abusive past, and I noticed a trend of toxic men that she has dated. So after that, I more or less pulled the plug on that. She appeared to have her getting her life back together. Very high powered, going to school, very type A personality, which um, but I remember a very specific conversation where she told me that she was looking at, or she really liked the relationship that we had because, quote unquote, I would not put up with the stuff that she would typically put out in other toxic relationships, especially after that abusive ex-husband. I pretty much slowly drifted out of her life. I saw that as too many red flags. Um, but there's a part of me that always wondered, what if? I've always talked to some friends and they've said, you made the right decision, but I just kind of want to have just another idea or some secondary advice from you. See, for other guys out there, if they're going to experience the same thing, what are some thoughts about that?
Sure. We'll be more specific. I mean, I have a few thoughts on it, but be more specific. Where are you conflicted? Like, what
Whether
is there a regret or
well,
what's the question?
there's a lot of stigma about dating either a mother or a single mother, or especially women who have been in an abusive relationship. Like they would pick up habits and just toxic behaviors, defense mechanisms. Um,
Yeah, I mean, so regarding that, it's interesting, right? For me, in terms of what I'm hearing from you, it's not so much that she was a single mother or that she was, you said she was abused in her past or abused from ex or exes.
a very heavily abused, heavily controlling relationship, like checking phones, and
What matters is how she's treating you. Okay, the thing is if a woman says she was in a toxic relationship, you know, it's not an excuse for the way she was treating you or the way things were going down. So was she treating you poorly?
no,
So why did it end?
it was more of self-help stuff that I've read, just general stuff
So the
general
relationship
blanket,
was just perfect and everything was great and you just ended it and that
more or less. Well, the main thing that was I felt that was the final stake in the coffin was her saying that she would not do certain toxic things because she knew that I would not put up with it, and which made me think that when she thought that I was more like connected to her life, that she would start pulling out these toxic behaviors.
so she
And
was being toxic. She was doing things.
not at that moment, and I didn't give her a chance to. But she mentioned that she would have previous toxic things like phone games, like letting a guy call a couple of times, leaving a guy on quote unquote red on whatever type of social media or texting on
I mean, this
iMessage.
doesn't sound too bad, but okay. So what's the worst? Just tell me the worst thing that she told you that she's done.
Pretty much, I screaming at her kids and some pretty heavy abuse.
Abusing her kids?
Yeah. Well, one, she had one, and I didn't share that same mentality. I didn't grow up in an abused home.
Well,
So
yeah,
that
it
stood
sounds
out.
like there's a lot of drama here. So it sounds like you made the right move. You know, she's coming from abusive relationships. It's like, what's making her always get into those abusive relationships? Is there something going on with her? Sounds like she doesn't have her stuff figured out. And I'm just going to assume that you do. I'm just assuming that. That's what I'll always assume, you know. But either way, well, it doesn't matter if you do or not. Either way, you don't want to be with someone who's toxic, or you don't want to be with someone who's showing those red flags. I think you made the right call. I think it's very odd that she would say those things to you. It sounds like she's probably scared of like. It's interesting, and there's a lot of different psychology here, but it sounds like she was. I wonder if there's something that happened in her past that allowed her to get into abusive relationships, and you know, she probably thought you were such a great guy that you would leave her. So she probably said like that's the stuff that she does because she just wants to let you know because she's afraid that you would leave her. You know, so it sounds like you made the right call because I don't want anyone getting into a relationship with any woman who doesn't have like there's too many women out there that you can be with. You don't have to be with one that doesn't have their psychology figured out or someone who's
Yeah,
really has actively worked on it. Like she's not ready to be in a relationship with you.
I think more of my concern was along the lines of the self help stuff I was reading on either forums or reading on books, and they're just too general. And then like did I cut something out too soon to allow it to blossom? The other thing too was that she had like some of the big things was openly admitting that she was toxic and people have called her toxic and that she was trying to
She just
change.
shot herself in the foot by saying that to you.
Well,
Because
pretty much.
look what happened. So I think you made the right call. That was a really really good call, Manny. And what I want you to do is I want you to check out the book called The Tactical Guide to Women.
Okay.
Okay, so I want you to check that out. That's on Amazon. It's by Sean T. Smith. So check that out. That teaches you more about how to find out if a woman that you're dating is toxic. Okay,
Awesome. Thank you.
you're welcome.
Bye.
Bye. Hope that helps. All right, so we're gonna get Isaiah on, but it's looking a little choppy in there.
Hmm.
Isaiah, what's up, man? You were on last week.
Oh yeah, hey, how's it going, Tripp?
You got updates for us?
Yeah. It is actually a sort of similar situation to like the last question. I mean, not anywhere near severe.
With what?
But basically it's-
Toxicity?
I wouldn't say toxicity, but more like not taking you seriously. So what happened was I had my Zoom date, and it went pretty well. I will say I was feeling inside of myself after the Zoom date that I just see her more as a friend. But also, too, I think part of it might be just the fact that it's harder to connect with someone on Zoom than in person. But I mean,
Naturally.
overall, I walked away from it with the feeling, okay, this is a cool person that either maybe as a friend, maybe as a date, I would want to spend time with. And then afterward, I was, I was texting her the day after our Zoom date, and she was sending me very just like one word responses, like I asked her, I was trying to be like playful, so like I asked her, what type of trouble have you been getting yourself into today? And she's like, I went to the bank, I guess, if that counts. And then, zero response.
It did if you robbed it. I would have said that.
Well, then I said, like, yeah, I asked, like, question mark, did you rob the bank or whatever? But then I got like, no response from that. And then, like, the next day, she was like,
So she's not interested either.
I'm at.
Why are you texting her if you're not interested?
But so here's the other like weird thing about it. She messaged me out of the blue yesterday saying, "Hey, can I call you real quick?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, I can talk at 8." This was yesterday, mind you. And 8 o'clock came, and didn't have a call or anything. And then like an hour later, she texted me. It's like, "Hey, I was on a Zoom call. Sorry about that." And I didn't respond to that message. So I'm like, okay, if you're not gonna respect my time enough to when
So
you
so she flaked on you?
yeah, basically. But then here's the crazy thing. Just an hour ago, she texted me. She's like, "I'm so sorry that I was I wasn't able to make it last night to that call. Can I talk to you later on tonight?"
And
Well, then I responded to her. I said, "I might be able to do tonight. I'll let you know because I'm really feeling iffy about this whole situation."
you got to stop moving around. It's like hard to hear you, and you're covering up the mic.
Oh,
Yeah.
But yeah, the thing I said after she messaged me, "Hey, I'm really sorry that I missed calling you last night." And then I told her, I mean, I might be able to have a call tonight. I'll let you know.
So what happened?
That's it. That was the last thing I
That's it,
said.
eh? You know what
Yeah,
I say?
Yeah.
I say forget it. I say drop it. I say drop it. You're not even that interested.
And I do agree with you there. I'm not.
If you're not interested, don't waste your time. You're not desperate. We're not desperate here. We're not desperate guys just going for low-hanging fruit. That's not what we're doing. And if a girl's not going to respect your time and she's all over the place, that's not someone you want to be with either. There's a little saying that says, how you do anything is how you do everything. And that is so true. I've seen it within myself, within other people, how they do certain things, how they do everything. So if she's going to be doing that now, imagine what it's going to be later on. Her completely flaking on you. Not cool. Not cool. But you don't have to prove a point to her and let her know that. You can just completely drop her and say, you know, no thanks, I'm good. It was nice to meet you though. And then just move on and talk to someone else and meet someone else, because there's so many women out there.
Yes, you're right. There's so much abundance out there, and there's other girls that will come along the way.
Yeah. So Isaiah, what you need to take away from this is we're not going to settle for women who are not going to respect your time, and you want to be going for women that you're actually interested in. You know, it's going to be better for you, because what's going to happen? This is going to escalate to a point where what? You're just doing. Cause see, the thing is, you're bored. That's why you're debating speaking to her again and doing something, because you don't have an abundance of women in your life. You have nothing else, so you're just going for the low hanging fruit. So I say, drop it.
Yeah, I definitely will. Thanks, Tripp. I appreciate it.
Welcome, Isaiah. Call in next week. Let us know how you're doing.
All right, yeah, sure will.
Later, buddy. All right. We'll get to some more in just a bit. If you guys want to call in, just go to the link down in the description below. And we will talk to you and answer your question. All right. What's up, man?
Yo, Tripp. What's up, bro?
CJ.
Sorry, I didn't got to ask too many questions in the first time. I got shy. This is the first time I'm talking to like this bit audience watching in the back as well.
What's your age and where are you calling from?
My name is CJ, 22, calling from Canada.
Cool.
So I had a question. Everybody is saying like, oh, you shouldn't sim, or you shouldn't be texting girls too much, or the word simping, right? Like that's what.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I know about it. But let's be more specific. Let's not use vague terminology. Let's be more specific. So you're saying something about texting. Continue.
No, for sure. Just in terms of that, like, what's your thought on that? Like, you should, like, how do you text that same girl without being like too
You
needy,
don't.
but you still have to compliment and stuff
You
like
don't.
that?
You don't. Who? What girl is this?
So this was like another girl that I was seeing. It's the one that I told you.
Why are you texting all day? You got nothing else better to do? You got everything else figured out in your life?
No, I'm not texting it all day. Whenever I want to text her, at that time, I feel like, maybe like should I say something like this, or am I not even trying, or am I too like
Let's dig deeper, right? It's not about texting. Texting only used to communicate, to meet up, or to do a video call in this time. That's what it's used for. Otherwise, stay busy. You're busy doing other things. What's that? Talking to other girls, meeting other women, working on your hobbies, working on your career, working on your outer qualities, working on your finances, your looks, working on your lifestyle, spending time with friends, with family. I just listed so much shit, right? Good stuff to be working on to make your life more fulfilling. And it shouldn't be spent sitting there texting all day. Unless you're texting to get them to meet up. I want that to be your mindset, CJ.
so just like go for the close? Hey, like don't text too much, just go for the close.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if you get up, if you're texting a little bit and it goes into a little bit of a conversation, like a couple back and forths, like no big deal, right? You got to kind of calibrate to the situation. You don't want to be socially unaware. You want to be, not just like ignoring everything she's saying and just going, yeah. Anyways, let's meet up. Like, she might be asking you a couple questions, so you might text a little bit, but don't be sitting there going, man, I'm bored. I wonder what, I wonder what Madison's up to. Let's text her. What are you up to today? How are you? What's going on? None of that.
I feel that.
None of
I
that.
feel that for sure. When do you think like because like this is 2020, most of the girls that I'm seeing is like not too much done for a relationship, whatever. But like when you're dating someone, what's the right time to like ask them to be your girlfriend? Like, do you have to wait few weeks, months,
I'd
or
say anywhere from 4 to 6 months.
4 to 6 months?
Yeah, after you get to know them very well, that you went through your non-negotiables, you figured out that she is a one that matches your non-negotiables. That's something you should find out within the first month. And then after that, you gotta date them. You gotta see if you have sexual chemistry. You gotta see if you enjoy spending time with them, if you guys have things that you like to do together, if you guys have the same values and see the world in the same way, if you've seen all of the different ways that she reacts to life. Like, it's hard to know how a person really is unless you've been spending time with them, because people put on their best behavior in the first 3 months, really in the first 6 months to a year. But you'll still get a really good idea of who they are in the first 4 to 6 months. And so at that point, you're really going to know if this is a person that you want to have as your girlfriend. Okay.
For sure, for sure. Because like I took this girl on a date few months ago, while back. This was like in a restaurant or whatever, right? So we were just talking, and on the first date, you feel like, oh, you know, still I messaged her and took her out or whatever, but I don't want to end up in friend zone, so I might as well, get some physical on the first date. Is it necessary to have that, like, maybe like touching or whatever? You know what I mean? Like, is that necessary to do on the first date, or you can still?
Yes, or at least go for it. Yes. I mean, does she know it's a date? Is it clear that it's a date?
Uh,
Or is it just two friends like going to catch a cup of coffee?
no. I met her, like, let's say I met her through Insta or whatever,
Oh,
right? But I asked her to be like, oh, let's go out sometime, whatever, right? And I picked her up, whatever. And but it's like not going anywhere, like, so that's why I'm like, oh,
well, there's no connection, then you just drop it.
okay.
You know, if
Yeah.
if you can tell like you're not connecting and you're not vibing with her, then I wouldn't try anything. I would just peace.
Just peace out.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not connecting with her, why bother?
Makes sense.
What are you trying to force? You know what I mean? This is why
Yeah.
you need volume, because some women you're going to connect with and a lot of women you're not going to. So you need to sift through and find the ones that you will.
Because I do, like, I feel like I do have confidence a little. I think I do have confidence. Like, I think I'm a confident guy, but like whenever I try to close, like in person or whatever, I feel like that's where the anxiety comes in, and you're like,
Well, you got
how
to
do
remind
I?
yourself, like, this is your moment. Like, if, if it's not now, then it's done. So how bad do you want it? You know what I mean? Understand that you're going to feel crappier not going for it. Like going for a kiss. You're going to feel crappier about not doing it
Yeah,
than doing it and maybe getting rejected.
I
You won't
felt
care
that
as
like
much.
I didn't go for that in the first time.
Yeah.
Uh, you
And
know what I
now you
mean? So
know. Now
you
you know.
feel
So you got to go through it and go through the mistakes. But now
you
you
feel
know.
it afterwards, but like at that moment, you're like, I'm gonna fucking die. Like it's in your mind.
You're right. It's heavy anxiety. Heavy anxiety. All right, man. Thanks for calling. Good questions.
Yeah, man. Thanks for chatting again. Yeah, thanks for the answers, man. I appreciate that.
You're welcome, man. Take care. Thank you.
Peace. Thank.
All right. Cool. Let's see. Who else wants to come in? Who wants to talk? Or you can ask your questions in the chat. I can answer them there too. How do I call my partner to see if she's into me? She's at the moment seems very distant. I would like to know if she's into me like I'm into her. I don't understand that question. How do you how be more specific? How would you know? Why do you feel like she's not into you? I'm curious why. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with the person who was trying to get in before. I don't know what the technical issue is. But a long distance relationship is a vacation. It has to end at some point. You have to go home. I like that. Very good, Adam. Fellow Chicagoan. I like the sound of that. A long distance relationship is a vacation. It does have to end. It's interesting. I wonder if you're saying this, Adam, is that long distance relationships, what happens is this. It's a trick, right? If you start in a long distance relationship, it's a big trick because you are in this extended honeymoon period. Because if you're in a long distance relationship, you only see each other so seldomly. So what normally would you want to get through the everyone loves the honeymoon period, right? The first 12 to 18 months where you're just like so in love and they could do no wrong and all this stuff, right? So what you want to do is you want to get through that as fast as possible. If you're looking for a long-term relationship, that's fun and then great, but that's a small baby part of the entire relationship. So you want to have fun with that, but get through it because you want to get to the part where you want to know if the relationship is going to actually last past that part. So you'll be in an extended honeymoon phase if you only see each other once in a while in this long distance relationship. So that means that if you guys ever eventually do come together, could you imagine if you've been in an extended honeymoon period and then finally you guys are in the same city and you realize that you guys don't really work out? You just wasted so much time. It's no good. What exactly is a long distance relationship? A long distance relationship is a relationship when you live far enough away from the person that you can't see them on a consistent basis. We'll have to drive, I'd say, more than 2 hours to see them. I'd say like an hour and a half to 2 hours. I would consider that long distance because it prevents you from seeing each other often, maybe 2 to 3 hours. And, or further away where you have to take a plane. If you guys want to come in and do a video chat and get your questions answered, let's do it. Let's do it. Come on in. All you got to do is click the link in the description. You can do it from your phone. Better to do it from your computer because it sounds better, it looks better. Richard, I'd be curious to know, be more specific. What are the hot and cold signals? Your ex. Who cares? Why do you care about your ex? Why do you care about your ex? You don't want your ex back. It ended for a reason. Either she wasn't good and you broke up with her, or you needed to learn a lesson about something that you did wrong. So who cares why she's giving you hot and cold? Probably because she's bored. Yeah, it is, man. Yeah, it is. I know. I get it. It's not easy. We'll get through it. We'll get through it together, guys. Don't worry. 6 feet is now long distance. In some ways it is. Can we do anonymous calls? Well, you can fake your name if you want, but we got to have your video chat. That's what we're doing here. All right. What's up?
Hello.
Hey, man.
Hey, how's it going? Hi.
It's going
Wow.
well.
Okay. I just want to start off by saying your videos have gotten me through a lot this past year.
Dude.
So I'm really happy to be on here to ask you live questions. I'm calling from Colorado. I'm 20. I've been watching your stream for a while, so I already know the kind of questions you're gonna ask.
You know what's up. Cool, man.
Yeah. I have a situation with 2 separate females, and I'm wondering if I can ask about both, if that's okay.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's try to make it, because we only have like 8 minutes left. Be concise, but I will try to answer both of them. So go ahead.
All right. So I've been in long distance for 6 years, and that came to an end around the start of the year. I found out that she was seeing someone else, and
Sorry
I
to
just
hear
let her
that.
go. And yeah, it happens. That's totally fine. I let her go, and during the process of letting
So
her
you were in
go,
a
I
long
found
distance
someone else.
relationship for 6 years?
Yeah, long term, not a long distance. Sorry, we live down the street from each other.
Oh,
My
okay.
bad.
I was like, wait,
But
what? Okay.
no, if it was long distance, that'd be terrible. But it was long term for 6 years, and I found out she was seeing someone else around the start of the year.
Okay.
I was understanding about it, and I let her go. And during the process of letting her go, I came across someone else, someone who I deemed to be a high value woman. And we decided to meet up for the first time at a concert, which was a really good time. We had a blast. It was amazing. The texts afterwards were, very honeymoon phased. But I'm not really invested in her as I am invested in myself, because those 6 years took a lot out of me. I'm more focused on me and what I want to do.
Okay.
And she has an issue with that. She wants me to be all up about her when I can't really do that. And when I do try and link up with her, she always makes excuses like, no, I'm with my family, or no, I don't want you to come to me while I'm at work, or I have plans with my friends. But she always assures me that she cares about me and that I'm
So
meaningful
so you're
enough
saying
to
you
continue
tried.
what we
I'm
have.
confused. You're trying to meet up with her, and she doesn't,
Yeah.
and she can never do it. But you're also saying that you're not that invested in her.
I'm not, I don't want to use the term simp, but I'm not willing to simp for her. And she
I
wants
don't know
me
what that.
to,
You got to be more specific. I know that term gets
All
thrown
right.
out around too much. So just be more
Yeah.
specific.
She wants me to be 100% all about her every hour of the day, and I can't do that because I
But
have
she
life.
won't even. But she won't meet up with you.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
And
So
I don't care that she.
any woman who's not willing to meet up with you is nothing. It doesn't exist. It might as well
Gotcha.
be a figment of your imagination. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like
Gotcha.
it's nothing. It's
Yeah.
literally nothing. It's a person that you're just
Yeah.
communicating with on the phone, and
Right.
it's not a real. It's nothing. It's not a real relationship. It's it's some sort of text buddy, whatever you want to call it. So if she's not willing to meet up with you, I mean, peace. You should stop responding to
Yeah,
her. You should say like,
tried
hey, listen, sorry, this isn't gonna work out. You can never hang. Nice to meet you.
Right.
Literally, that's what you should send
Yeah,
her.
I've distanced myself from her, and I noticed that she's been seeing other guys, which is good for her. You know, she has her life to live. But yesterday, she hit me up out of the blue, and I couldn't really get back to her in time because I was, busy with my studies and all. And then that she took that to heart that I wasn't just available for her because she
Oh, she's
is
super
quote
needy,
unquote
bro.
trying.
Yeah, dude, even if she was
Yeah, she's
willing to meet
very,
up with
very
you,
needy.
even if she was willing to meet up with you, I
Yeah.
would drop her anyways. You do not want a needy chick because they will just give you so much drama. So much drama.
Okay.
Yeah, someone
Okay.
said
Okay.
someone just said she's looking for validation. I agree with that. She is looking for validation, and she has low self-esteem. She has low self-esteem. That's why she's always
Gotcha.
wanting stuff from you. But it's a little weird and catfishy and ridiculous, even though maybe you've met her before already. I don't know, but that she won't meet up
Yeah.
with you. So
Yeah. We
so
have
yeah,
met at the concert, like I said. Because I met her before the concert at a different concert. So we just kind of made it a plan to say, hey, we'll just meet up here since we're both going to be there. And
yeah,
she was great in person, and now I'm getting this like 50-50 response.
yeah.
But to the second girl, though, just to
Okay,
make
we
this
got to go
quick.
quick on this one. We got to go quick.
All right, all right. Is it worth giving your ex a chance if they left the other person for you?
Is it it's your ex?
Yeah,
The
the
one
same
that cheated
ex
on
for
you?
that past six. Yeah,
No, it's not.
yeah.
No, you'll never
No?
trust her again, and she shouldn't be trusted by you again. So no, she left. That's
Okay.
funny, dude. Come on,
I've
think
been
about what
like
you're
six
saying
years,
here. Should
Trip.
you
Six
trust her
years
because
is a
she
long
left the
time. Like
guy
she's my
that
high
she
school
cheated on?
sweetheart.
She left the guy that she cheated on to be with you. What a sweet move. What a sweet girl. I'm so glad she left the guy that she cheated on you with to be with you. Maybe we should give her a second chance. What a sweetheart. Yeah.
All right, when you say it like that, it makes a
You
little
know what
bit
I'm
more
saying,
sense.
bro? Yeah,
But she
no.
is my high school
It
sweetheart,
doesn't
and we
matter.
were each
It
other's
doesn't matter.
first,
She's your
so
high school
it's
sweetheart.
deep.
I wish she was never your high
Right.
school sweetheart. Sounds like she ripped a hole in your heart, and that's not cool.
She did. Yeah.
So she's now an interesting story that you will have in your bank of stories, and now on to one that is going to treat you with respect and be willing to meet up with you. There you go. Thanks,
Thank
buddy.
you. Thank you for your advice. You've helped me throughout this whole year, man. Thank you so
You're
much.
so welcome. Thank you for calling in, and it's good to meet you, and thanks for your kind words.
All right. Thank you, man. Thank you.
Take care. All right. We got some time left. We'll do another one real quick. What's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, Tripp? How you doing?
What's up, bro? What's your age? Where are you calling from?
27, calling from North Carolina in the Army.
Sweet. Awesome. I coach a lot of guys who are in the Marines, in the Army, in the Navy. So appreciate your service. Thanks for calling. What's your question?
Hey, so my question is, so this is kind of going with like the long distance thing.
Yes.
So when I was deployed, I was talking to a female, and basically it started off really slow, and where we're at now is we're texting pretty consistently, but I'm keeping it at a minimum, like one text a day, maybe two texts. And the thing is she's a firefighter, so it's like a wildland firefighter. It's a very long distance kind of thing, but I jive with her so well.
Do you have a plan of being in the same city as her?
See, that's the thing. No, I mean, we both put it to each other straight. Like our jobs come first, but we're both. It's like such a hot connection. Like it's fire as fuck.
So what's the end game here then?
So the end game is I told her, I was like, look, I want to be straight up with my intentions. Like I'm down. Like of course, keeping a good balance, not showing too much interest because I don't really know her yet, and I want to be able to.
You met her in person?
Well, I went to school there. I've known her since middle school.
So have you seen her in person since this connection has been fire?
No, I've done probably 4 or 5 different video chats. And
You don't really know if it's a great connection until you've been in person. I'm telling you. The video chats don't matter. It's a world of difference when you're looking at someone through a screen. Imagine right now, you and I are looking at each other through a screen. Can you imagine if I was there in front of you? Like, just to picture that for a second, the difference of what it means to be in front of someone, connecting with someone versus on a screen. So I don't doubt you guys have had great conversations, you get along, all these things, but you don't know if the connection is that strong unless you're with each other and you have sexual chemistry, which you don't know yet. And B, there has to be an end game. I don't care how special the girl is, there has to be an end game. Because, Steven, you're going to really waste your time. You're going to waste your time. You know, this could prevent you from being with someone that could be because I'll tell you what, someone that even has 75% of the connection that you have with this girl is a better fit for you being in the same city and that you can meet up with her than this girl who has this amazing connection who you've never met once and are long distance with. I would go for the first option. Does that make sense?
And there's plenty of women out there too. I mean, I know it feels like a good connection and everything.
Hey, maybe it's a great connection. I'm not saying drop it either. Like, I'm not gonna tell you to drop it, but there has to be an end game. Like there has to be, like, figure it out like now. And if that end game is like, hopefully we can see each other in 3 years, that's not an end game. It's got to be something soon. Like, okay, we can get in the same city. We can figure that we can test this out. But the thing is let's just be honest. And I, hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I just got to be real with you. Is like,
no, I appreciate it.
What's really going to happen here? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
You're in your job, or she's in her job. Like, when are you guys going to meet and test that out? And if you do, then what? You're going to go back to North Carolina. She's going to go back to wherever she is. The end game is a really hard thing to create with a long distance relationship, unless you guys are already in the relationship and there's clear, there's something clear there. So unless you can tell me that you guys can figure out something, but the thing is you're not going to figure out an end game now because you never met. So there's no end game to figure out of when you can be in the same city. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I got you. I know exactly what you mean. The idea of bringing it up is still, I still want to do it just because I like to be direct. I don't want to leave her hanging. So I want to bring it up, actually meeting up, because if she's actually into me, it's going to show through her actions. So, on both of our ends, the meetup will happen. But how would you go about communicating that in a, like, how would you go about communicating that? How would you say
communicating that? Which part?
About meeting up.
We should meet up soon.
Yeah.
We should meet up
That's
ASAP.
simple. Yeah.
Say, that's it. There's nothing really special. Just direct to the point. Like, hey, we've been doing this for a while. We clearly have a connection. Let's meet up, because if we feel like we have a real connection, we should figure out how to be in the same city. Like, you should say all of that. Yeah. If that scares her, peace. Then 100%. She's living in fantasy world while you're living in reality. And if you guys aren't connecting and in the same level here, it's not going to work. She's just having a good time with a guy that she's, been FaceTiming with.
At the same time, I don't want to get caught up in fantasy land. She had something like tragic go on the other day, and like with her being a firefighter, she went off for a run for 40 minutes, came back and her house burnt down. And like, I was like the first person she called to talk to.
Wait, she's a firefighter and her house burned down?
Friend's house she was staying at. Like, she came back and everything was burned down.
It's weirdly ironic.
Crazy, right?
Interesting. Yeah. Well, either way, as fast as you can, get her to reality. I guess that's the key here. Is what the takeaway is. Get it to reality and no longer fantasy land, because long distance relationships is fantasy land. Okay.
All right, boss. Hey, look, appreciate the question. I got to roll. It's good talking to you.
Thanks, Steven.
Keep killing
Thanks for
it,
calling.
man. Keep killing it, brother.
Thank you. Take care.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye. All right. Guys, fantastic. Great questions today. The mic worked. We're happy the mic worked this time. Wonderful. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your comments. Thanks for everyone calling in. If you need coaching and you want me to help you one-on-one, don't forget, you can go to coachedbytripp.com. I'll put a link in the description. It's not there right now, but I'll put a link right now in the comments. And so if you need coaching and want me to help you one-on-one and get you to a place where you're meeting the women that you want to meet and doing it, we can do that. Let me help you. Go to Coached by Tripp, and I will look at your application, because that's what's on that page. It's an application. So apply. Let's get on the phone. Let's figure it out for you and go from there. Thanks, everybody. Thank you for being here. You rock. Good to see some of the names here. Nava, Adam, Becky, all the regulars. William, you guys are great. Jonathan, thank you for all the newcomers who have showed up. And again, thanks for the comments and calls. You guys rock. You know what to do. Come back, 7 p.m. Central, next week, next Wednesday. Bye-bye. That was an awesome live. Great questions today from guys who called in. We're talking about long-distance relationships. And so I just want to share some takeaways from what we learned today. So first of all, long-distance relationships. Long-distance relationships are fantasy. When you're in a long-distance relationship with no clear end game, it's a fantasy. It's not reality, because a real relationship is you two being in the same city or somewhere nearby where you guys can connect as a relationship needs. So consistent connecting. So remember, you are in a fantasy land and not in reality if you are in a long-distance relationship. And so I know some guys are saying, oh, but the girl, she's great, the high school sweetheart, the this, the that, the connection is fire, we heard. But still, if you want to live in a fantasy world and not be in a relationship where you're actually meeting up with a person, by all means do that. But we both know the truth. It's so much better to be living in reality. And the reality is that you want to be with someone who you can see consistently to build a real relationship with. Also, another takeaway from today's chat was talking about volume. A lot of guys get caught up with one girl, very, very kind of just tunnel vision in one girl. Bad idea. The reason why this is bad is because you don't need to settle for just one girl. If she's not someone who you feel is a good fit for you, if you feel that she's disrespected you by flaking on you, you don't need to stick around for this. That's desperate mentality from a guy who's not desperate. I know you're not desperate. I know you're better than that. I do. So just make sure that you are getting enough volume, meaning talking to more women online, meeting more women in person, so you can filter for the ones that are going to be good matches for you, and ones that have high level of interest for you, and ones that are passing your tests. Okay? You're the chooser. You're the one who's doing it, not the rest of them. You. Remember that. See ya next week.